When it comes to North American airlines, Air Canada often stands tall among the competition. I've personally flown Air Canada 4 times since I moved to Canada several years ago. So far, the experiences have been acceptable. Was there service on my flights? Yes. Were they comfortable? Yeah, mostly. Anyway, I recently had a chance to see how Air Canada performs on a longer flight, this time from Europe. And when it comes to crossing the pond, Air Canada has an extensive network of flights to many cities in Europe. Most of the time, you are likely to come across a Dreamliner on a flight to or from Europe. These 787s are the backbone of the Air Canada fleet. There are 39 in operation, and there are 18 -10s on the way. In fact, I last flew one from Doha to Toronto, a route that's now been discontinued. That's a couple of years ago. So how are they now? This review also includes a visit to the Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge in Frankfurt. So let's get started. Welcome to Frankfurt today, and here we go again on another trip report. This Air Canada flight is the second leg of my journey from Singapore. The first one, as you guessed it, was on Singapore Airlines. That review is in the link above, so do check that one out after this video. And since we're in Frankfurt, it's nice to catch a quick glimpse of Lufthansa's Boeing 747s in different liveries. But let's check out the Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge now, courtesy of my credit card and Dragon Pass. So the Maple Leaf Lounge is a decent place for a quick rest, or to catch up with some work and to get a quick bite. The Maple Leaf Lounge was not busy in the morning, so I had a few places I could choose to grab a seat. I did use my Dragon Pass membership for this lounge access, but you can also use Priority Pass. Also managed to catch this Lufthansa 747-8 with its retro livery. What luck! Being that this is Germany, with lots of cold cuts, cheese, and almost everything you can expect for a German breakfast. All in all, I think this Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge is a pretty decent lounge, which you can perhaps stay some time to relax before your next flight. There's also a bar, but I think it's pretty too early for a drink right now. So I decided to grab a pretzel, coffee, and enjoy some plane spotting. I decided I also had to check out the Sky Garden Leisure Zone, and I certainly wasn't disappointed. Especially when you can get great views of the tarmac from here. Anyway, it's time to head to the gate today for our flight. So our flight is AC 845, operated by CFGEO. We'll find 247 economy class seats, around 30 business class seats, and 21 premium economy seats. On this flight, I selected seat 37A, which I managed to select for free. The legroom is good for transatlantic economy, coming in at about 31 inches. Each seat also comes with an adjustable headrest. And each passenger gets a pillow and a blanket. Just so you know, there are also individual air vents here. Each seat also has an IFE screen with USB charging for your devices. screen is on the small side, but generally it's pretty okay and pretty responsive. And below, a universal socket for other devices such as laptop chargers. In the seat pocket, you'll find a safety card and an Air Canada branded sick bag. Almost as soon as I got on board, we are departing Frankfurt on time. Now, AC-845 is a daily flight from Montreal, and on some days they're actually operated by an Airbus 330. Speaking of safety, our pilots today were directed to a remote stand to examine a supposedly defective engine panel. The crew of another plane actually raised this issue, and we've stopped for a check to see if the panel was in place.
Et mesdames et messieurs, c'était le commandant qui nous informe que nous sommes stationnés en ce moment. Un autre avion aurait aperçu une petite porte qui soit ouverte de l'extérieur sur un émetteur. Alors nous avons la maintenance qui va venir vérifier le tout, s'assurer que cette petite porte-là est bien fermée. Et nous devrions avoir une réponse d'ici une minute ou deux. Nous allons pouvoir procéder à notre départ. Merci beaucoup de votre patience. Nous demandons de bien demeurer ainsi avec votre ceinture.
Thankfully, it turned out it was a false alarm. So anyway, on our way we go. As we climb out of Frankfurt, we're lucky enough to catch a glimpse of the city. These are certainly the privileges of flying. I'm really grateful for the view today. Back on board, we receive free headphones. As we enter British airspace, pardon the pun, it's time for an English breakfast. On board, we have a really friendly crew, and you can tell it from the way they were about to conduct their service. The crew on this flight was efficient to a fault. Less than 30 minutes after departure, meal service began. Honestly, I wasn't that hungry since I've had breakfast in Frankfurt, but let's get the tray table down. Did I mention that there was a buy on board menu too? Of course, this being a transatlantic flight, everyone gets a free meal, so you don't actually need to purchase anything here. I chose a pasta option, and of course all of this was presented on a small tray. So with a pack of disposable cutlery accompanies the meal. I chose to pair the meal with fine wine. Yes, I know it's a bit too much for a breakfast meal, but I wanted to give it a try. Finally, the main. Let's start by saying that Air Canada is one of the worst airlines for catering ever. We've all had better pasta before. This tasteless slop was not it. I certainly couldn't wait to finish my meal and enjoy my newspapers. Flying from Germany! Grab your free papers at the airport before you go. Of course, an English breakfast is not complete without a view of London from the air. So to end things off before we depart British airspace, I decided to have a cup of coffee. Sorry, Brits. Before winding down for a quick nap, I decided to browse the entertainment system again. So the in-flight content selection on Air Canada is tremendous, and it's certainly more than plenty for this flight. In-flight Wi-Fi is also available for basic texting, but add your aeroplan details before you get on board. So I decided to watch The Big Lebowski. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think you should definitely check it out if you have a chance. Midway through the flight, it's washroom time. So, I don't have much to say here. The lavatories were Just a little bit dirtier than what I would have liked, but I've seen worse. And before I knew it, we're now in Canadian airspace and on approach to Montreal. So it's time for the second meal service. This pastry was alright and tasted better than the pasta. And once we're done our snack, we are ready to land in beautiful Montreal. Overall, this was a good flight. I didn't get the impression that the cabin crew were bad at service. The in-flight entertainment was definitely more than sufficient, and I enjoyed catching up with the dude once more. But I absolutely didn't enjoy the catering. In short, it was bad. Please Air Canada, do better food. There has been news that Air Canada will be improving its catering soon, but I'll keep my fingers crossed on that one. Bienvenue Montreal. And with that, we've almost come to the end of the report. Stay tuned for my score, just coming right up. To sum up this experience, it's that Air Canada are fine to fly, but don't expect to be fed well. Have you flown on Air Canada recently? What do you think that they can improve on? Let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video, and if you really like my content, please subscribe. See ya!